Hello everyone. Through this video we are going to start chapter number 7 and the name of the chapter is Ratio and Proportion. First, let us discuss about some basic concept related to the chapter. At the very first, let us talk about what is a ratio. So the ratio of two quantities of the same kind and in the same units is a comparison obtained by dividing the first quantity by the other. Means, if we want to compare two quantities, then we have to remember that it should be of same kind and in same unit. Then when we divide that quantity, then whatever we will get, that become our ratio. So here A upon B is called ratio between A and B, and it can be written as A ratio B, and it can be read as A is to B. So this is the ratio and it can be read as A is to B, where B can never be 0, meaning the second quantity can never be 0. And here A is called the first quantity or antecedent, and B is called the second quantity or consequent. Now the next topic is increase or decrease in a ratio. In general, if a quantity increases or decreases in a ratio A is to B, then we have the formula for finding the new resulting quantity, which is equals to B upon A multiplied by original quantity. We will use this formula when we will do some questions related to exercise 7A. Now, the next topic is commensurable and incommensurable quantities. So, if the ratio between any two quantities of same kind and of same unit can be expressed by the ratio between two integers, then that quantity are known as commensurable, otherwise incommensurable. For example, if we have two quantities, 2 whole 1 upon 3 is to 3 whole 1 upon 2. When we simplify it, then it becomes 3 2s are 6 plus 1 7 upon 3 is to 2 3s are 6 plus 1 7 upon 2. Again, when we will simplify it, then it becomes 7 upon 3. This ratio means these quantity are in division. Mean when we change into in multiplication, then the second quantity will be reciprocal. Then it becomes 2 upon 7. When we solve it again, then it becomes 2 upon 3, means 2 is to 3. So we can see here this ratio can be expressed by the ratio between two integers, that is 2 and 3. So these quantities are known as commensurable quantities. Now the next example is root 3 and 5. So this cannot be converted into the ratio between two integers. So it is known as incommensurable quantities. Now the next topic is composition of ratios. In that we have the first part, compound ratio. So for two or more ratios, the ratio between the product of their antecedent to the product of their consequent is called compound ratio. For example, if we have two ratio, first one is A is to B and the second ratio is C is to D. Then the product of their antecedent means the product of the first term, that is A multiplied by C, and the product of their consequent means the product of their second term, that is B multiplied by D. Then this ratio is called the compound ratio. So we can say that it is a compound ratio. In the same way, we can find out the compound ratio if we have three ratios. Now, the second point is duplicate ratio. So, it is a compound ratio of two equal ratios. For example, here we have two equal ratio, A is to B and A is to B. Then the compound ratio of these equal ratio is known as duplicate ratio. Meaning we have to multiply A into A is to B into B. It will become A square is to B square. This ratio is called duplicate ratio. Next point is triplicate ratio. So it is the compound ratio of three equal ratio. For example, here we have three equal ratios, A is to B, A is to B and A is to B. Then we have to find the compound ratio of these three ratio. So what we have to do here, we have to multiply the first term of these three ratio, that is A into A is to multiply the second terms of all the three ratio, B into B into B. So it will become A cube is to B cube, and it is known as triplicate ratio. Now the next point is subduplicate ratio. For any ratio A is to B, its subduplicate ratio is square root of A is to square root of B. For example, here we have to find out the subduplicate ratio of 9 is to 16. So what we have to do here, we have to find out the square root of 9 is to square root of 16. And we know that the square root of 9 is 3 and the square root of 16. So it becomes 3 is to 4. So in this way, we have the subduplicate of 9 is to 16 is 3 is to 4. Now the next point is fifth point, subtriplicate ratio. For any ratio A is to B, its subtriplicate ratio is cube root of A is to cube root of B. For example, we have to find out the subtriplicate ratio of 27 is to 64. So what we have to do here, we have to find out the cube root of 27 is to cube root of 64. And we know that the cube root of 27 is 3 and the cube root of 64 is 4. So subtriplicate ratio of 27 is to 64 is 3 is to 4. Now the next point is reciprocal ratio. For any ratio A is to B where A and B is not equals to 0, its reciprocal ratio is 1 upon A is to 1 upon B. When we solve this, then it will be equals to 1 upon A. When this sign of ratio, mean the sign of division, change into multiplication, then the second ratio will be reciprocal. So it will become B upon 1. Then we can write it as B is to A. So this is the reciprocal ratio of the given ratio A is to B. Now for example, we have to find out the reciprocal ratio of 3 is to 5. So in order to that, we have 1 upon 3 is to 1 upon 5. Now when we solve it again, then it will become 1 upon 3 into 5 upon 1, then 5 upon 3. So the ratio becomes 5 is to 3. So this is the reciprocal ratio of the given ratio.